Hello, it's Keith from Symplify, here to show you a quick demo of the A/B testing platform within Symplify Conversion. So what we have here is kind of a demo site that we're going to look at, and I'll kind of give you a quick run through of how the tool works and some of the different features that you'll have access to. So at the bottom here you have your menu. Here you'll see a bunch of different options. The first one is Project, which will allow you to group A/B tests into groups called projects that can share a common goal. So a prime example of this would be something like a checkout funnel, where you have contact, shipping, pricing, and a confirmation page. You'd be able to build a test for each specific page and then group them into a project so that you can track not only the goals on those specific tests, but also the impact on the overall funnel. Next, we have our variation viewer. So here you can look at the original and the variant. A very cool feature here is the ability to convert to a personalization. What this means is if you run a test and it goes very well, and you want to keep that live on your website while it's being coded, you can actually just convert it to a personalization. And you don't have any of that downtime of development and can keep the best version of your website running at all times. Next, we have the code editor, so you can open this up and look at CSS and JavaScript. A preview tool, which allows you to open a preview of your experiment in a new browser window. Of course, that can be done by device. Speaking of which, our device selector is next, so desktop, tablet, and mobile. We have an undo and redo button. We have settings, which the main usage of this would be to set your traffic allocations. So going in, is it a 50-50 test, a 60-40 test? You can decide that here. The next one is audience. So audiences allow you to determine who sees a test. Now, basically, there's a few simple rules here. The first main ones you'll see, the essential ones, are URLs. So you can target based on someone landing on a specific page, a referral URL, which is someone coming from a specific page, a referral type, which is someone coming from a specific type of refer, so let's say organic or social, a device, so if a person's on mobile, desktop, or tablet, and page content, which allows you to target tests based on the presence of CSS elements. An example of using this is it on a category page. If you want to run a test across all your different category pages, you may have a CSS element that is unique to category pages. And there you'd be able to actually build an audience that will capture every single one of your category pages in one test, which helps you to scale tests exponentially. Next, we have more general rules, so language, which is based on your browser language. Geodata, so where the user is, the time of day, the day of week. We have query parameters, which are basically strings that you can add to the end of a URL, which can trigger a test. This is most commonly used when you're using ad platforms. So let's say you have an ad campaign and you want to put a parameter on it. You can use that ad campaign to trigger a specific experience for the user. Next, we have user history and data. So the number of page views, the number of sessions, which pages have been visited, items in your data layer, user data, and cookies. And last but not least, we have some miscellaneous ones. The main one here would be custom audiences. So if you have a developer who can code a custom audience, they can come in and build that right within the builder. Next, we have goals. So as mentioned, there's two different types of goals. There's website goals and project goals. Project goals encapsulate a group of pages, whereas website goals encapsulate a specific test. In terms of goal types, we have different varieties. There's page goals, which is did a user go to a specific page? So this is like a classic CTR type test. Next, we have click goals, which is did someone click on a specific thing? So a prime example of this is someone clicking on an add to cart button. And then content goals, which kind of combine the first two together. So did a user click on a specific thing on a specific page? And lastly, custom goals, which like audiences, developers can come in and actually code their own custom goals right within the builder. Next, we have some basic stuff like save and run. In terms of the builder, so you'll see when you open it that you can kind of scroll across and select different elements. When you want to change something, you just go over it, you right click, and you'll get this drop down. The first thing you see here is edit style. So this largely has to do with CSS rules. So text colors, text decoration, font sizes, etc., etc. You can just quickly come in and change those here. Next, we have edit content. Now, this allows you to go from extremely simple to extremely complex. You can edit your text as simple to this, or you can go in and actually edit the code proper. In this case, we'll remove demo. Likewise, when you right-click, you can insert content, so you can add text, add images, add HTML. We have a select tool, which allows you to select the parents and the children of a selected element. So basically, in case you have elements that are behind other things, it's easy to find them. Next, we have copy, cut, and paste. So you can copy something and move it and put it somewhere else. You can add a class, which is helpful for building targeting for tests. If you do not have a unique class and you want to add a class to that page, you can do that using this. Next, you can add links. You can add click goals. This gives you a head start on building those click goals that we talked about before. You can hide elements. You can resize and move, and you can resize. Well, that's more or less the gist of it as it pertains to the builder. I hope this is very helpful. Have a great day.